In the world of CPAP machines, there are a lot of options that can be overwhelming for someone looking to buy their first machine. Or maybe you're someone who thinks it might be time for an upgrade from your current CPAP device and you want to know what is the latest tech available. Then you've tapped on the right video, my friend. Hi, I'm Ruben from RespShop.com, an online retailer for everything CPAP here in Redmond, Washington. Today, I'm going to guide you through the different kinds of machines available and how to decide between them all. Remember, there is no device that is simply better than all of the others, but it's about deciding what features or lack of features are most important to you and your medical needs. Throughout this video, I'll give you some example machines from various categories, and at any time you can check out the links to the full reviews of any of them in the description below, so you can get all the info you need in a clear and detailed manner. With all this help on offer, why not help us too by giving the video a like and subscribing for more of the good stuff. Thanks very much. Now, let's get started. The first thing to consider is the broad category of CPAP machine that you need. And here there are three options: manual CPAPs, auto CPAPs, and BiPAPs. The category you purchase is mainly decided by your sleep prescription, but it's still helpful to understand the differences so you can have an informed discussion with your sleep doctor and be aware of all the options. Manual or fixed rate CPAPs deliver a constant rate of air pressure to your mask throughout the therapy period. Now, although you can still purchase fixed rate only CPAP machines, nowadays an auto CPAP is usually a better option as they are able to run in both fixed rate or manual mode as well as the auto mode, which means there's more flexibility with your therapy. So, unless budget is the main factor, we suggest choosing an auto CPAP. But an example of a fixed rate CPAP machine is the ResMed AirSense 10 manual CPAP. Auto CPAPs, when in their auto mode, use sophisticated computer algorithms to measure your breathing patterns and adjust the air pressure according to your needs. Rather than choosing a specific continuous pressure like you do with a fixed rate CPAP, an auto CPAP, the pressure range is set between a minimum and a maximum level. The idea here is to provide you with the pressure you need at any given moment, but no more than the pressure you need, so you can stay sleeping peacefully with the minimum intrusion that's necessary. A popular option for an auto CPAP machine is again the ResMed AirSense 10, this time the auto set card to cloud. BiPAPs have separate pressure rates for inhalation and exhalation. When the algorithm detects you are breathing out, it drops to the exhalation pressure to make breathing out easier. It then increases the pressure again during inhalation. Now, there are different types of BiPAP machines, and your doctor will specify which one you require when writing your prescription. BiPAP machines can only be purchased with a BiPAP prescription from your doctor and are mainly for those that have less common forms of apnea or those that need very high pressure, as this can often result in those users struggling to exhale against that pressure level. A solid choice for those that have been prescribed an auto BiPAP machine, which is one of the more commonly prescribed BiPAPs, is the ResMed AirCurve 10 V Auto. The next thing to consider is whether you need an at-home or a travel CPAP device. At-home options tend to provide additional comfort features and are usually quieter than the travel devices. But for regular travelers, it might be worth looking at a travel CPAP, as these are designed to be smaller, lighter, and to have more portable power options. If you have the budget to have both an at-home and a travel machine, then great. It's often a good idea, not only because you can use your at-home machine at home and the travel machine when traveling, but it also gives the protection of having a CPAP machine still available to use should your main device be unusable for any reason. But if you don't have the excess budget for two machines, it can be a case of weighing up the importance of the relative factors for your lifestyle to whether you go with an at-home or a travel model. A nice travel CPAP machine worth checking out is the Transcend Micro. This leads nicely onto the next thing to consider: your budget. In an ideal world, price would directly correlate to performance, but the world is not ideal. Performance is a factor in the price, but there are other factors too. The most significant being the reputation of the manufacturer. The big three brands, ResMed, Philips Respironics, or Fisher and Paykel, will likely charge a bit more of a premium, so think about your budget alongside the functionality you need, and then choose a CPAP that does what you need at a price you can afford. And remember the cost of accessories when doing your sums too, as some brands are only compatible with their own accessories, which can mean higher ongoing expenses when reordering your consumables. So if sticking to a smaller budget both to purchase and for ongoing costs is your main concern, then check out the Apex Medical XT Auto Travel CPAP. Other important considerations are size, weight, volume, and the physical interface. When thinking about size and weight, remember to factor in the power adapter, as some CPAPs have a rather large and heavy power brick, while others have it integrated into the unit. And even though manufacturers provide official noise levels for their machines, volumes can be subjective. But the official levels do provide a rough guide, so should be considered when purchasing, especially if you or a bed partner are particularly sensitive to noise. One of the quietest rated CPAPs on the market is the Breeze Z2 Auto Travel CPAP. The physical interface on the unit can also be worth considering. Does the device have dials and buttons, a touchscreen, and does it rely on a smartphone app to communicate data and for changing settings? Some like the new tech, others prefer simplicity. Which are you? If you want the latest tech, then the ResMed AirSense 11 is likely the best choice for you. Next up, humidification. Dried out airways can be an issue with CPAP use. Now, machines try to combat this by adding air moisture via the humidifier. But if this is less of a problem for you, you can leave out the humidifier, potentially reducing the cost and avoiding the inconvenience of having to fill and clean the water chamber regularly. Also, some devices, especially travel CPAPs, are compatible with heat and moisture exchangers that recycle the heat and moisture from your own breath to combat dry mouth instead. Now, most users who rely on their CPAP machines all night, every night, are going to want some form of humidification, so don't skimp on this unless you really have to. Now, if you're using your machine in a cold environment and are using a humidifier, it is quite common for condensation to build up in the tube. Now, this needs to be dried out to prevent mildew growth, but the condensation can be largely prevented by using a heated tube. But not all CPAP machines are compatible with heated tubes, so if you think you'll need one, make sure you are buying a suitable CPAP like the ResMed AirSense 11 with climate line tubing. All CPAPs do the basics, but they may differ in extra features. The most common are ramp and expiratory pressure relief. Ramp means the pressure will begin at a low level and gradually increase to the therapy level either over time or when you fall asleep. Many users find ramp makes it easier to fall asleep. Expiratory pressure relief drops the pressure when you exhale to make breathing out a little easier. Now, we've done more detailed breakdowns on these topics in separate videos, so check for those in the description below if you want more context. And although most machines come with these features now, there may be slight differences in how they work, and there may be other less common convenience features a device offers too. But be aware that these features can go by different names depending on the CPAP brand. Sadly, there aren't industry standard terms for a lot of these features and accessories, which makes the whole buying process for first-time buyers more confusing. Feel free to give RespShop.com a call if you have any questions. We have experienced, compassionate staff on hand to help you make the best decision for your needs. Finally, you might want to consider the way the machine records, displays, and outputs your sleep data. Oftentimes, your insurance provider will require you to be in compliance with your prescription and will require the machine's use data to determine whether you are or are not in compliance. Some machines will display data on a screen, some via a smartphone, and others can't display it at all but record it to an SD card you can plug into a computer. Think about how regularly your data will be viewed or shared with others, such as your sleep doctor, employer, or insurance company. If it will be needed often, think about which system is most convenient for you. Also, check if the CPAP needs a certain app or software to function and make sure you have a compatible device for it, especially if you only use Apple devices. RespShop.com offers a full compliance and therapy reporting service for devices that allow remote access. So if that's something that appeals to you, make sure you choose a device that will enable the option, like the ResMed AirSense 11 Auto Set or the ResMed Air Mini. But note that the Air Mini doesn't have an option for removable storage like an SD card that records your data, so it doesn't offer the same range of personal monitoring capabilities with third-party software that the AirSense 11 does, but data can be monitored remotely via ResMed's Air Mini app. Okay, I know I've covered a lot of points and machines today, and I hope this video helps you break down the decision into manageable chunks and prompts you to ask yourself the right questions when deciding. To make things a little easier, on this YouTube channel, we have provided full reviews of some of the main CPAP options, covering the way they stack up with each other in all of the categories I've just gone through. You can find links to these review videos in the description, so take a look there to get a better feel for your options, or head on over to our website, RespShop.com, to look at the machines we offer, complete with detailed descriptions of their features. All the best finding the right machine for you, and as always friends, sleep tight. Bye bye for now.